And we are back. At least I believe we are. Okay, welcome back. Sorry about that. Apparently fucking my computer took a shit everywhere. So not clue what happened there, but we're back to our brick here. All right, so let's go back into it. Not sure what that shit was about. It may have just been because I've had this program open like the whole day, and understandably it gets a little testy. All right, so let's start making our brick. All right, so we're gonna come here, and again, keep in mind, we're trying to make this as ergonomic as possible, or at least less taxing on the program. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of space these out. And what we'll do, we don't need that last one. And we'll kind of mess with the angles. Oh, no. What we need is to turn this off. All right. And what we may do is kind of somehow mash these in here. Again, we're going for a very unsymmetric look. I mean, asymmetric, I guess would be the word. And a fairly highly textured surface. This is going to be pretty detailed. We're going for animation quality here. But we're going to be loading so much at once that we still want to keep it kind of low. Something like this. Maybe we'll add a couple tilts in some different directions here. Just something for the light to bounce off, you know, as we're kind of tacking these in here. Because the whole idea is we want some cool, you know, little effects where the light can kind of play. And let's raise one up here. Actually, let's do this. Bring this one kind of in. Nope. I think what we'll do is we'll take these, bring them up, and then in. And we'll actually, you know what? Instead of doing that, again, we're going for a very modular approach here. What we may do is just take a couple of these and squeeze them down. Make kind of this square spot. And break up the design a little bit. Bring one over here, kind of rotate it. Ooh. And see, these are touching. I don't want that much of a... how close those are. Okay. Now we'll grab these, bring them up. We may have to pull these out a little. Yeah, we just want those kind of on a surface where I'm not having to fight with them. There we go. We'll move these kind of down and up. Straighten up slightly on this level. And we'll bring these up. So the idea is I'm making this kind of brick wall facade that we can tack onto the other shit. So we're not constantly having to fight back and forth between adding these. We'll already have some sort of design made out. And I really kind of want this bottom to be slightly more level. There we go, just so it can kind of add to the effect. I'll bring these up. And this is going to be pretty close to our square piece we'll add on. And we're just going to add a little deviation here. There's probably a plugin for something like this, but you know, you kind of get intimate. You can say, you know, I did all this. This is my shit. Which is kind of nice, especially if someone's going to view your short, or you're going into, you know, an animation or something. You are the creator here. You're making it what you want. Let's bring these over. Okay, let's see how far we can get with this. We'll go ahead and mesh, and we're going to combine it, center it, and we're going to bring this over here, again, to this kind of section right here. And what this can actually do is we can break this into other little pieces too. So let's just see how this would work out. So let's grab this, bring this in. Okay, so once we have it, well, realistically, we'll have this textured out and whatnot when we go to implement it. So as we're putting these pieces on, let's see how square we've gotten. Not quite square. That's okay though. Let's see here. Let's pull it in a little bit and out. And the thing is, with these, well, we may add a couple different variations to it, just kind of as a tiled piece so that people aren't noticing, like this line down the center. There's no real, nothing cutting it out. But again, from a distance, it doesn't look that way. You may not see that. And then these, what you'll take is you'll basically duplicate them, bring them over, and just rotate them around. And bring them in here, and do the same. Just pull them in. So yeah, we are adding more geometry, but we're doing to beautify what we've already got. So you can see now we're starting to add nice little polishing pieces to it that you know, make or break your design. And we'll continue to add pieces. Again, this is a very rudimentary type style. Let's say you don't like that. That's cool. And in fact, I'm not too crazy about how we set those up. And that's why we're testing them out before we get too far in. Damn it, did I delete one? I need at least one. Okay. And what we can do, let's see. We could, there's a couple of ways we could do this actually. Let's do this. Do not want to duplicate them all, but I will if that's the case. So we could do it this way and have these kind of pieces. I'm just thinking through it to myself. Or we can do even a different type of design altogether. So let me bring a square here. Let me just fuck around with this for a second. Let's see. What we can do is set up this as kind of a template, because this is a square. And if we're thinking to ourselves, okay, we need it to cover this space, or even something like this. So if we brought these in, about 4 of these is what it would take. So we need the brick to line up at least with one of these. So let's bring in another brick now that we kind of know what we're working with here. And let's think how we're going to do this. Okay, so let's try a couple different designs here. So I still like the idea of a brick. Let's bring it out. Yeah, mine just need to be closed because now it's playing ball. And let's see, we're gonna bevel it. And we're just gonna add a couple, that's fine. We don't need anything crazy with it. Getting funky with the cheese whiz and shit. And let's add, let's see. We don't need that much geometry to it. We're just wanting the roughness. Just the bump, really. Artificial bump map. Alright. Let me see. So we'll pull this back in here. We'll go down with it over. Okay, so we want it to fit through here. And we want to be fairly close. We don't want too much. But we need the edges to at least be somewhat even, so let's kind of shuffle these around here. These right here, kind of move it. Okay, let's take a line and do the same. And this time maybe we won't add the slight pieces to the side. Maybe this time we will try something else. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we'll make the same fucking mistake we did before, because that's a very real possibility. Alright, let's take these again. Bring them up. And what I think I'll do is I'll just grab these all and just make a couple different sets of them, and then we'll go back and reevaluate what we've got. And I think maybe another 3. Or maybe 4, we'll see. Definitely not 4, but I think we could probably get away with these. And honestly, maybe these 2. And then just kind of mess with these in general. And you'll see why here shortly when we go to start kind of tweaking some of these. And we're just adding enough variation here because the user is realistically not going to notice much of it, or at least the audience. You're again directing your attention away from things like this. This is just enough to fool the eye that stand by. Sorry about that. Not sure if you guys heard it, but definitely some dogs going ape shit outside. All right. Back to it. So, we were going to add a couple little deviations here and there. And that one may be too much, but that's okay. And we can even add some spots where there's no brick. Or maybe a hole, or any number of things.